There are lots of questions circulating around Nvidia in particular this week after the emergence of China's DeepSeek, including whether DeepSeek skirted U.S. export controls to get access to Nvidia's chips, perhaps via third-party vendors in Singapore, say. For more, let's bring in Tae Kim. He's author of The Nvidia Way and a tech writer at Barron's, along with our Deirdre Bosa. Tae, first of all, this book really shows you that Nvidia, maybe I'm stating the obvious here, this company is no accident. I mean, the level in which Jensen Huang has had to go and reinvent it and shape its culture and drive it over the years is really incredible when you read about it. So I'm curious, first of all, if you have any insight on what may be taking place here with the DeepSeek emergence.
I mean, the funny thing is, Jensen said last year that we need to drive down the cost of computing. He specifically called out reasoning models and inference time scaling, which is exactly what DeepSeek innovated in the past few weeks. So Jensen almost kind of predicted this a few months ago. And he did that with Mellanox when he bought the networking company in 2019. When he actually bought that company, he put in the press release that someday AI workloads are going to work on these massive clusters and networking is going to be a critical component, which is exactly what's happening now with these 100,000 GPU clusters. So NVIDIA wants the cost of AI performance to be brought down, the cost to come down. Jensen has talked about AI inference. The cost has come down 1,000 times in the last 10 years, and they want that to happen over the next 10 years. And if DeepSeek's AI model optimizations actually are replicable by U.S. companies, this is exactly what NVIDIA wants.
But why do they want that? Just because, you'd argue, well, the more that you have to spend on these big workhorse models, the more that benefits NVIDIA.
So there's two components here on their AI training side and the AI inference side. Let's talk about the AI inference. So basically, these DeepSeek models do mixture of experts, number precision. These are all techniques that have been used before, and they've kind of combined them in a very unique and innovative way. So the cost of inference have come down 90%. Now, if you think about it, the first blush, you react to that as thinking, oh my gosh, that's going to lead to a glut of AI computing power. Inference is serving the models. But actually, over time, computing history has shown when you get more computing power and put that into hands of the developers, they figure out new applications, new workloads to use it. I mean, there's that saying, oh, you only need 640K of memory, and then obviously that proved false.
Right.
So over time, like researchers, I mean, we have healthcare, drug discovery, trillions of proteins that need to be simulated, robotics. There's these three mega trends that are happening this year right now: multimodal, where you analyze audio and video. There's AI agents. All these things are happening that are going to require more computing power. So if you have these algorithms and optimization techniques that give you more power, researchers and developers are going to find a way to use it.
Interesting.
And that's exactly what Jensen wants. And this is actually a very bullish thing for the whole AI data center space.
So that then brings us, Deirdre, to the question of what the U.S. should do about export controls on NVIDIA chips. Why don't you first bring us up to speed on what is the latest there?
So I think what Tae's getting at as well is Javin's paradox, right, which Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella brought up at the beginning of the week when all of this broke out into the open, saying more AI basically means more AI. And what Tae's talking about is true. At the inference level, it could require even more compute power. Something that I think may be lost in this conversation, though, is the competition that is going to be coming online for NVIDIA. Without a doubt, NVIDIA is leading edge. It has been the kingmaker in AI in that pre-training phase. In the inference phase, there's a lot more competitors. You have companies like Amazon and Google working on their own chips that are efficient, that could compete with NVIDIA's GPUs that are going to be coming online. And something that I think is really interesting that's also emerged this week is that big tech is just totally embracing DeepSeek. So while Washington is talking about more, export controls to make sure that these GPUs don't get into the hands of Chinese labs like DeepSeek, it's obviously, proven this big breakthrough that our big tech companies are really excited about and integrating into their own platforms. I mean, Microsoft Azure, Amazon AWS this week integrated DeepSeek in a way that isn't just taking DeepSeek, right, but taking the open source model and giving it to their customers in a safer way.
Yeah, Dell is doing the same thing. You can use it on Perplexity. So if you don't want to put it on your phone, you can still access it. So, Tay, what do you think? I mean, if I could even put it that bluntly, the U.S. should do. You say you think the U.S. is still going to win the war here. As part of the war, should we be doing more serious export controls or not worrying so much about that?
I don't think you have to worry too much about it. There's no way they're going to. I highly doubt that the Trump administration is going to raise the compute thresholds to let China get the current advanced chips. The reason why I think the U.S. is going to win is that the current Blackwell AI systems are these massive AI server racks with 72 GPUs, all tightly integrated together. They have over 100,000 parts. They weigh 1.5 tons. So in the past, a lot of this is backward looking. You could put like a small chip in your backpack and maybe smuggle it, but that's not
what I've heard. Yeah. So let me just interrupt you there so people know what we're saying. There's been a lot of speculation that these chips, these H800s or H100s, are being smuggled into China in suitcases. You say going forward that you can't even smuggle in the latest stuff.
Yeah, I mean, these AI servers that everyone's going to use because they're so much more performant and a massive computing density. Every hyperscaler is buying it right now. They're so big and massive, and you can't ship a 1.5 ton. It's like, come on, it's not going to happen. And these clusters, DeepSeek talked about 2,000 GPUs. The Llama 3 was trained on 16,000 GPUs. Now Llama 4 is going to be over 100,000 GPUs, and then Meta and everyone else is building 1 million GPU clusters. Like these are massive clusters and performance power that China is not going to be able to get. China's not going to be able to get a million GPUs.
And I apologize for running short on time here. Could you still, ship them to Singapore, quote unquote, and they make their way to China?
Not like these racks are so big and weigh so much. I don't think these things are going to be able to be smuggled in any shape or fashion.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And as you say, if all this raises demand for this computing power, we have it, and it will maybe be harder for it to kind of get there in the black market. We'll see. We'll see for sure, and I appreciate the points. Thanks for joining us, Tay. Congrats on the book. It's a great read. Deirdre, appreciate you joining us today as well. Tay Kim, Deirdre Bosa.